Hello, 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 hello. And
Hello, hello.
welcome everyone. Can we just get a quick microphone check from everyone? I think that it's gone really echoey again, and we're trying to sort it all
Has it
out.
gone really echoey again?
Yeah, it sounds like it to
Again?
me, but it might just be on my headphones. How do we think, everyone? What do we
Uh,
reckon?
Maybe. Not
Yeah, it's an
quite
echo on
sure.
Jonathan. I just cannot figure this echo out. It is absolutely devastating because I've tried everything on here. And it's absolutely fine right up until about 2 minutes before the stream starts, and then suddenly this echo comes on, and I cannot figure out where it's coming from. Do you want to try talking again, see if that's it?
Did that do it?
Ah, that's done something. What's that?
Well, I'm muting myself the second I stop talking.
Ah,
How about that?
well, it's done something. No, we definitely made sure that we neither of us have got Discord or Twitch open. So it's definitely not that. It's something to do with the sound coming through on video. But do you want to talk again, Jonathan? I think that's probably it.
Yeah, maybe. Did that do it?
No, I thought I did it, but it didn't. Hang on. Try it now.
How about that? Do you hear anything?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I just cannot figure out why it's so. What if I do that? What if I do that? Right, try it now.
How about now? Can you hear me? Echo?
How does that sound to everyone?
How about that?
Still echoey, because it sounds a lot clearer to me. Ah, there we go. I think I figured out what the problem is. I am an absolute
Okay.
muppet.
Oh, you did it. So the whole time it was your fault.
Yeah. What I did.
Oh.
So try again.
Again?
Just speak again.
Again? Test, test.
Yeah.
Anything?
So for everyone that would like to set up Video Ninja, what you definitely do not want to do is put everybody on the same channel. What you want to do is put everyone on different channels.
Oh. Okay. We have learned
Um,
something today.
yes. So we have learned something new today, and that is that I really am an idiot. But I think
No,
that's probably I
it
think
means
that's
you're going to
probably going to
learn.
fix it.
Sounds like it.
So yeah, the reason it's going on and off is because I'm undoing all the damage I seem to have done, and I'm and changing it again.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, would you like to introduce yourself for all the people new to the stream?
Yeah. So my name is Jonathan, otherwise known as Carnal to all of my tripping family and to all the top down tabletop guys that I've become friends with and been playing D&D for over 12 years, but I stopped for about 8. And then I just recently got back up when I started watching the Careful Cantrip. I watched on YouTube, I think it was the first 50 videos or so, and it got me back into it. And Colin, who was here yesterday, he and I actually play a local game, and just been getting really heavily back into it.
Excellent. So, for those of you that are new to the stream, just a quick recap of who we are. So, the Fireside Portal is a brand new game. It's going to be very unlike anything that you may have seen before on YouTube, which is or Twitch even, which is a bunch of characters go through and they sort of go on a massive journey and it's a big long crazy quest. That's not what's happening now. What we're going to be doing is building 4 very generic, very sort of middle of the road characters that all form a single party, and that single party is going to start every single session absolutely fresh, brand new, with the same equipment and the same sort of stats. And the idea is that a different DM will come on each week, and take us through a one-shot. And it can be set anywhere, we can do anything, it can be anything the DM wants at all. And from that, we will then score them on how well they do. Chat will also get a score on the live games, so that there will be an input from the chat as to how well you liked it, what did you think about it, and the top 4 will then go into a final where they play one of the 4 characters randomly assigned. The grand prize is going to be a big mix of things. We've got a square foot of land to be given away in Scotland, which will entitle the DM to be able to call themselves Lord or Lady, and that certificate should be arriving hopefully with me in the next couple of days. But it is all set up. There's also a tree being planted on that square foot of land, so they will have a tree planted in their honour and a square foot of land, and be able to call themselves Lord or Lady for the rest of their lives. There is also an art book being published that's being done by the wonderful and amazingly talented Vix Draws, who is doing all the
The
concept art
amazing
for the
book.
show. Yes, she's doing all the concept art for the show, and she is the one who's going to be producing a book. She will then sign it and send that off to the winner as well. There's a few other prizes in the pipeworks. I think we're looking at, I think the Critical Role book is going to be available about the time we should be wrapping up, so we'll be sending an alternate cover a Critical Role book probably as well as maybe a few other goodies. So we'll see what we can wrangle up. It should be a lot of fun. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to build the rogue archetype, with Jonathan being our resident rogue for the campaign. So
Always wanted to play the rogue.
yeah,
Always. Never got the chance to. I've always wanted to.
yeah, I know some people are really into it. Again, it's not really a thing that I've done on any sort of any giant basis, mostly because I have always played sort of the paladin healer sort of archetype. So
Uh-huh.
it's really interesting, and I got a lot out of yesterday's stream going through with Colin building the bard, because again it's not something I've ever sort of thought about or built before, so it was quite an interesting experience. So if I can make everything work, we should be able to do this and jump straight into the character building sheet. And I'm just gonna, for those of you that we're having some microphone issues with the with some feedback on one of the microphones. I've been trying my hardest to try and figure it out. I just can't quite get there. We'll struggle on as best we can, and I'm going to spend the next couple of days just sort of sorting out microphone channels and seeing if I can figure out how it works. But we'll just carry on now as we can and see where we end up. So, Colin, Rogue, where do
Nope.
we start?
Wrong.
It's Jonathan
Jonathan.
even. Rogue,
Colin
where
was
do we
yesterday.
start?
I think we start by choosing the level, right? Because I think we dropped them back down to a level 1.
We certainly did. And
Yeah.
just to confirm, we're going to be we're not going to need this. So what we're doing is we're just trying to make as generic a character as possible. We're not that bothered about optional class features because again we're going to try and keep them off. Feats are multi-class again. Sure. None of this is going to be used, so it kind of doesn't matter. And we're not worried about encumbrance or weight type because the characters are going to start each session with the same basic equipment and the same statistics and everything like that. So we're not too worried about that. Oh, I absolutely missed someone. LV, lovely to see you. Always a pleasure. I am still pretending to be British. Ongoing joke. So,
Good
race.
joke. Hi, LV.
Where are we going?
Uh, I mean, you chose dwarf. What did Colin go with? I'm thinking wood elf just because it makes the most sense as far as the decks and everything kind of basic. Plus, I mean, wood elves make great rogues. So
Yep. Yeah, they really do. And again, there's so many additionals that the elves get with sort of the ability score increase, fleet of foot, They really do get some good little toys to play with. Um, Mask of the Wild, excellent if we ever go anywhere,
Oh
which
yeah,
is slightly wooded.
I definitely. Yeah.
So it's kind of you just have that ability to blend into the background, which is just absolutely brilliant if you're going to be playing sort of a sneaky rogue type character.
Yeah.
Always an excellent way to go. So I think we're
Always. Yeah.
happy with this.
I think what else the best way? It's also it's not too complicated. There's not the lucky feature stuff like that. It's basic.
Yeah, it's very nice and easy. So, character level. We are going to start by bumping you up to a level 5. We are all starting this campaign at level 5.
It's the fastest I've ever leveled up.
It's only about sort of six months worth of leveling up there in a single click.
Yeah, right. 6 months of experience.
So, 4 skills to pick. What are we thinking for the 4 skills?
Um, what I don't have the screen on me. What are the options?
The options.
I got my book, but
Aha. So we have
yes.
acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, performance, persuasion, sleight of hand, and stealth. Any of the rogue skills.
Well, definitely deception. Have to have that. Probably persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Sleight of hand, and it is a one shot. Usually, I play in campaigns. How like acrobatics? Do you think it doesn't really come into play that much on a one shot, does it?
Pardon? So again, athletics. I don't
Well,
know.
yeah,
It kind of
acrobatics,
depends.
athletics.
So yeah, you've got acrobatics, athletics, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, performance, and stealth is what you've got left.
So I guess I would say perception for traps, things like that, right? I think that might make the most sense.
Yeah, yeah. I think perception's probably about right. Um, it's just
I'm just
whether.
thinking more along the lines like puzzles, or if we have to have any kind of.
Oh, my apologies. It's uh. Persuasion. So this is interesting because it says that you can choose from perception, and yet I can't pick it as a. I can't actually pick that as a stat on here. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, performance, persuasion, sleight of hand, stealth. So far we've got deception, persuasion, sleight of hand, but I can't pick.
Do I already have it possibly from my?
You might do.
From possibly a race, or possibly just as a rogue. Maybe.
Yeah, I think probably stealth then out of what's left, just to give you that additional
Yeah, still.
benefits.
Yeah.
Interesting that it didn't let us choose perception.
And the stealth is going to come double back once we talk about the rogue archetypes. So.
Yeah, that's Zomar. You're correct. Deception is already picked, but it's perception, which we're supposed to be able to pick, but it's just not on that list for some reason. When I drop the menus down, it's not there. I'm not sure why. But anyway, expertise. So, 2 rogue expertise. So this is where you can pick perception.
Yeah.
Which is a good idea. And then you've got the choice then of deception, persuasion, sleight of hand, stealth, and thieves' tools. And I think we all know where everyone goes.
We all know thieves' tools. Gotta have that.
Straight into the thieves' tools, because that ability
to the thieves' tools.
That ability to add it to your unlockable benefits is just far too good. Good evening, Michelle. Welcome to the Rogue build.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle.
It's generally going as well as it would normally go with a Rogue's build, which is we're just going everything sneaky,
As sneaky as possible.
as sneaky as we can possibly make them. So we do get to pick your archetype.
Yes.
Um,
I looked into all of them,
yep,
and as much as I thought about the magical rogue would be so much fun,
the
because you can
arcane
make things
trickster
appear in people's back
is
pockets. The
yeah,
trickster, it's so much fun. I don't think at level 5 it had the level of impact that I want it to, so I think Assassin definitely.
yep. I'm definitely inclined to agree with you. Assassin is an excellent archetype to go down, especially with. I mean, we've got a barbarian who's a pretty good damage dealer. But I think what a lot of people, especially brand new to the game, they sort of think rogue and they sort of think, oh, okay, they're going to be sneaky, they're not going to be that great in combat, and that is an absolute misnomer.
Oh, yeah, absolute lie. Yeah. Especially if
Absolute
you,
lie.
well, I mean, with Assassin, you get the instant sneak attack as long as you're attacking both. I mean, for anybody who hasn't attacked yet.
Yeah.
So
And actually, someone in
that's
chat,
huge.
because we're still getting a huge amount of echo, there is someone in chat that I can ask, and that's Michelle, because I know he uses VOD, or VDO even. I have
The
no idea
master.
why there's
Yeah.
all these echoes going on, Michelle. So if you've got any thoughts, that would be an excellent. I've just got the audio capture and my microphone running, and yet it seems to be this massive amount of echoing from everywhere, and I cannot figure out why it's echoing. So, um, I'll leave that with Michelle, and he'll probably come up with something. So we've got the assassin,
Yep.
um, which you gain proficiency with disguise kit and poisonous kit. You get the assassinate ability.
Yep.
And then at the fourth level, you would monitor option on one of the audio tracks. I don't know what that means. Okay. Um, so we're going to go ability score improvement because none of us are taking
Yep.
feats. The
No
idea being
feats.
it's supposed to be as simple as possible for the DMs. So charisma, constitution, dexterity, intelligence, strength, or wisdom. I think I know where we're going.
Gee, that is such a hard decision. I don't know where a rogue would want to go.
So
Yes, obviously Dex.
I think we're just
I
putting
don't
two
feel like
into
taking
dex, aren't we?
Constitution yet. Yeah.
I think we're
Yeah.
just putting two into the dexterity. Again, for brand new players, it's worth remembering. You sort of think that Constitution is a way to stay alive. Yes, is one way to go. It's certainly what we were talking about yesterday with the Bard. That actually the Bard wanted that Constitution to kind of sort of fend off attacks so that they can maintain concentration. But from a rogue's point of view, it doesn't matter how
Uncanny
many.
dodge.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many hit points you've got if your armor class is ridiculous because you're so fast,
Yep.
and that kind of plays into that with the dexterity. So it's kind of worth, and with uncanny dodge as well, which is right below it, which is
Yep.
you can use your reaction to halve the attack's damage against you. It's just so good.
It is so good. As long as I can see the person.
Yeah, so you're relying more on the sort of the dexterity. Just don't be hit is the sort of thing, and
Mm-hmm.
um there's things that you can do as a rogue which are excellent. So you kind of have the ability, I believe in this one. I know you've got your uncanny dodge, but I believe it's the cunning action at second level,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Kind of action set.
which is just fantastic. Um, it gives you the bonus action, so your action economy becomes brilliant. And as your action economy, you can disengage or you can hide. So you
Mm-hmm.
have that ability to sort of just stay completely out of the combat and allow the
Disengage, lean
barbarian
back,
to,
and hit. Huge. Yeah.
yeah, you just allow the barbarian to tank everything and then you can crack on. And again, this is an issue we were having yesterday with um,
Colin.
with Colin, is that the video goes all weird and then the audio goes and I cannot figure out. Ah, there we go. That might work. How's that? Speak again.
Okay. Is that better?
Do you know what? I think it's just the Video Ninja, and I think I know the button I need to hit now to get that to work. So we'll keep going
Okay.
with that. There's a button here which says fix, and I just clicked it and it sharpened everything up. So I'm just going to keep pressing that random points to see if that works.
It's the red button that you want to push. You
Yep,
want to push it.
yep. Just hit that button and it seems to fix everything. There we go.
Yep.
Right. So that's the main basis of the rogue, really. Like really good starting points. Obviously, we're not worried
Hmm.
about this just yet. We haven't done any of the actual abilities. So
Yeah.
27 points. How many are we going to be putting into charisma? All of them.
Uh, are we wanting to go with the base stats for the player's handbook, or are we actually building them?
No, for the other characters, we've just done a 27 point buy. So to try and
So
make
we
it
are doing the
as,
point five.
yeah, as rounded as possible, just because it makes everything a little bit easier.
Okay. Um. So decks definitely all of them. Um.
We're maxing out decks, because of course we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Maxing out decks because I mean who wouldn't? Charisma. I would think we probably max out charisma. Right. I think
Um,
that would make them.
yeah, it's one of those weird ones where you're sort of thinking now about where and where what you want to do as the rogue. So charisma's always good. Another
Well,
great one to have is
yeah.
wisdom for that
Wisdom.
ability.
I think dex and wisdom will be the two main for that one.
Yeah, because it's what's I mean you get your racial bonus anyway on wisdom, and
Yeah.
it's all it's going to do is make you quicker in combat if you're going to be higher up the initiative.
Yeah.
So I think we should be looking at
And as far as
least,
party balance, also we got the bard that's gonna be very heavy in charisma.
yeah,
So all the things that I would normally be doing as far as like persuading and stuff like that, we have another person to do it. So we can definitely focus more on those.
yeah. So I definitely think that that's where we need to be, is sort of
Yeah,
at least a 14, basical 13, modifier +2, racial bonus +1. Yeah, that
yeah,
that looks like a fairly good stat. Um,
yeah,
Strength and constitution is always an interesting one. Charisma as well, and intelligence. We're probably going to want to be fairly intelligent as a rogue.
I think yes. I think the dump stat's obviously strength. Um,
Yes.
and I think that um, maybe just a low balance between the charisma and charisma and intelligence, just for the I guess for the skill checks. I think it's the only reason why those would be up a little bit.
Okay, I agree. So, how about we bump intelligence up to about there? That's going to give us a fairly good mod. You know, we're not in a negative modifier, which is always good. There's
Yeah,
a little bit of additional there. Um, Constitution is definitely going to want to go up,
yeah,
because we don't want to be too
yeah.
fragile.
Not maxed out, but like what 12, 13 is that's the one that doesn't give you an extra plus. So 12 would be the answer for that one, right?
Yeah, yeah, because we're not. Yeah, we need to go to 14 to get the +2.
14 to get the extra. Yeah,
Yep. So now we're looking at strength and charisma,
yeah.
and I think
And how many points are left?
yeah, 2 in strength is going to give us that. Make sure we don't have a negative modifier, which is
Okay.
always preferable.
Hmm.
And I think we can get as high in charisma as 11. So yeah, there's not really going to be much else that we can do. Um, just looking at all the modifiers, there's 12 there, 12 there, 14, 11. Yeah, I think that's about as close as we're going to be able to get to nothing. putting any into any more isn't going to make any sense because we're only
Yeah.
going to max them out. Um, we could take a point out of Dex, put it into Charisma, and get the +2. That is definitely something we could do, Zaru. But it depends on how good we want our armor class to be, or how good we want, the the
I would
sneak
say if we were to take
abilities
a
to be.
point out of something else, we wouldn't take it out. I wouldn't mind having the negative strength modifier. I mean, that wouldn't kill me.
Yeah,
If I was going to take it out of anywhere, I would say take it out of strength just because that dex is going to be like, if I'm going to be in close combat, let's say one turn I do get left where I'm not hidden and I do get hit, like it's going to be necessary for me to have some kind of protection.
yeah, that's true. Well, Constitution is going to be up to 12, Charisma's up to a 12, Intelligence up to a 12, and then Wisdom, and then Dex is just off the chart. So that's going to be
Yeah,
giving us, yeah, the +1 modifier in Charisma, +2 modifier in Wisdom, which is really good. With
yeah.
a +1 there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And then 8 in Intelligence, potentially aren't as learned. I have played an 8 Intelligence character, um, in the like 2 or 3 characters I've ever actually been able to play because I'm usually DMing, and I would say I played it very subtle. The other players, we didn't know each other's stats. Like, it wasn't anything we actually discussed in that game. It was just, we turned up and played characters, and um, I kind of hid it in the sort of way that I just kind of picked the one character that I thought was intelligent, who happened to be the wizard, obviously, because their intelligence was off the chart.
Of course
And
they are. Yeah,
I just agreed with whatever they said. I just deferred to them on most things. Because that's probably what the character would have done. It's just go, well, this person clearly knows what they're talking about, so we'll just go with them. Whether that made me less learned than them, I don't know. He was a paladin. He was very learned in the lore, but he was very sheltered and only really knew his lore. You've been speaking in broken English and making dumb choices. Well, that's one way to go. Like, there is no incorrect
yeah.
way to play the character. Um,
No, there's not.
I take it from the player's handbook. Well, not the player's handbook, but from the rules as we see them. There's the intelligence 4 kind of limit, which is if you're below intelligence 4, that's when you don't actually understand the jokes enough to be able to laugh at Tasha's hideous laughter, and things like that. So I think, by the time you get down to sort of, not being able to sort of understand what's going on, you've got to be down at like a negative. You've got to be down at like intelligence 4
Yeah, you got
to
to be
sort of,
way way down there. Yeah,
yeah. So I wouldn't say I would. I think someone once described it to me that intelligence 6 is like a primary school education. So what would that be in? That would be elementary school in America. Is sort of an intelligence 6. And then once you get up to sort of intelligence 10, that's kind of high school graduate level. You've got your high school diploma, you're kind of middle of
you
the
know the
road.
basics. Yeah,
Yeah, you'd be quite happy. Yeah, so 10's sort of average. 7, yeah, you're talking, you're getting down, like, once you get down to sort of 6, you're talking about, finished elementary school, and that was it. So you have a basic, you can hold a conversation, you got a basic grasp, you can read and write, but
well, I played dumb really really well. I got a lot of practice at it. So
yeah. So it's just all a matter of scale, really. An 8 is, your sort of average freshman, sophomore in high school. They're not stupid. It's just they haven't had as much experience in learning as other people, and so they I wouldn't say dumb. They just maybe haven't learned as much. Which is the way I played that intelligence 8. He grew up in a monastery. He could recite the Bible back, or well, the religious texts backwards, but didn't know how to fry an egg because that was done by the chefs in the,
yeah,
that
pay
wasn't
somebody
his
to do it.
job. So
Yeah,
you know, I took the intelligence to be he wasn't very worldly, and he didn't have that kind of intelligence. But like I say, there is no correct way of doing this. So
It's all in the hands of the DM.
yeah, so I think we're good with that. So let's go to our descriptions. Background. I I think we're fairly keyed into what this character is going to be.
Yeah, I think so.
But there is no assassin thing on here, which is kind of annoying.
Well, there's faceless, which is, I mean, that's always fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So I've seen faction agent played pretty well as a sort of assassin with a purpose. Whether that fits the sort of person we're trying to build, I don't know. Um,
Did you
kind
just
of
lose me?
odd. What do we think? Character options. I think faceless is probably the way to go.
Yeah, I think so too. That's kind of the, I think the background really that I had in mind from the start, like somebody that doesn't really want anybody to know about his past, just kind of comes in and he meets these people around the fire and becomes friends, and they all have the same, like, I guess the same desire to complete all these adventures, and but at the same time doesn't really want to talk about where he's from.
Yeah, yeah. Which I think that probably makes a lot of sense, especially for this kind of a game and this the sort of the story that's going on, which is that we are
Yeah.
just four adventurers sat around a fire waiting for a portal to open, and a
Hmm.
faceless is a really cool backstory anyway. You're just you know
Hmm.
you're just there.
Yeah, and it doesn't give you anything crazy as far as benefits that would like feats would normally do. So.
hmm Yeah, yeah, that definitely works. So let's go with languages. So you get to choose a language on top of your Elven.
Uh, huh. I don't really know which one would be the most beneficial. I guess. I mean,
So I believe I'm talking Dwarvish. Uh, I think I picked Abyssal and Infernal as mine. Yesterday we
okay.
took Sylvan as well as Elvish. So I think something in the sort of middle range would be quite cool.
Yeah, the middle range would definitely be good.
I think
So you
something
got
like
Infernal's taken Draconic. I don't know. It might depend.
Draconic always does give some really interesting options, especially when it comes to sort of, uh,
Yeah.
DM options. I mean, I
Hmm.
took Abyssal and Infernal to give the DM the wonderful options of demonic pacts and um,
Yeah.
anything sort of devil as well, which are always fun.
Hmm.
The devil pacts are just for those of you that haven't played much. Everybody seems to go
The
down the
double.
route of demonics and making
Hmm.
demonic pacts. Um, I would say go and read the Nine Hells and have a look at the devils in the DM's handbook, and then if you can get a copy of Descent into Avernus, which I is in my backpack because I run that usually on a Thursday night, but we're on hiatus at the moment, so it's downstairs in my backpack. There is some amazing stuff in there about devil pacts, and it is very very good. So don't overlook like the importance of devils and demons. And actually, I'm running the Avernus. I've thrown in quite a few demons before they've got to Avernus. so that some of them already have sold their souls for more power, because that's the sort of characters they were playing. So that's going to be interesting when the devils are down there and they're in Avernus, and um, the devils are trying to barter for people's souls, but the souls already belong to to demons. So that should be quite interesting.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think definitely Draconic is a lot of fun, and it does
yeah,
give
it'd be
us
fun. It
it
spices it up a little bit.
it does hedge our bets. Would I do it in a regular campaign? Possibly not, but I think it kind of hedges our bets, gives our DMs the most amount of things to play with, which
Hmm.
is
It
definitely
gives them the
cool.
ability to be a little more creative and different than the rest of the games.
Yeah. So you've got your background feature done for you because you are a faceless. I've missed
Hmm.
something here, which is the skill proficiencies. So you do get a skill proficiency in intimidation because you are a faceless, and you get to choose two more. So regular set, which is the acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, athletics, history, insight, investigation, medicine, nature, performance, religion, and survival.
So I'll definitely choose survival.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think insight. We haven't chosen insight yet, right?
So no, so you get one skill proficiency and one tool proficiency.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So definitely survival for the skill.
Yep. And then you get the choice of
I like
any.
to stay alive. I don't like dying.
You get the choice of the bard's playthings. So you get all of the. In fact, you just get to pretty much pick anything, because you kind of have access to all of the bard's um, toys. You've got access to all of the regular thieves' toys, and you've got access to the courtier kind of things like
Like
chess
brewers,
sets
stuff like that
and
way.
calligrapher's tools, um, which I would normally associate with sort of
Like
courtiers.
map working stuff like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so you got quite a long list here. Um,
Hmm.
what do you think that you would be the most proficient in?
Well, I would say we would need to narrow it down to things that are more inclined to be used as far as one shots.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like any of the smithing or things like that, it's not really gonna be relevant.
No,
Um,
there is a forgery kit here,
uh,
which is always excellent for
yes,
one shots.
yes. I completely forgot about the forgery. Yeah, let's go with that one.
Yeah, so that then, if you combine that then with our bard who has the disguise kit,
Hmm.
we've kind of covered
Yeah.
ourselves for the DM that wants to do the you're going to a party, you need invitations.
So any manipulation or lying, we have got covered. We're good.
Yeah, I think we've got that covered, and then some. And so what we're into then is characteristics.
Hmm.
So I'm not entirely sure that all of these match what you've been thinking about, but we can pick two from any of
Hmm.
these. So that would be personality traits, and then ideals, bonds, flaws. What are we thinking?
Okay, so you pull up the list right now. I don't have it in front of me.
Hmm.
Um, so I definitely think like the Dark Robin Hood, like from that like mind, steals from the rich because they're the rich and they're corrupted, and gives to people and keeps nothing for himself. That was kind of the place that I was wanting to come from. I guess.
It's interesting. So I think then we're looking down the rather than going for personality straight off, we've got ideals, which is justice,
Yeah,
which
like
does
justice
kind
to
of
a
fit
fault.
that.
Like doesn't matter what. Like, it doesn't matter what he does, as long as it's making somebody else's lives right. Like, he'll go as far as he has to without question or thought.
Yeah, which I know some people might question that for an assassin, but you've got to remember, if you sort of think about all of the assassins that you've ever read about from
Mhm.
creeds or codes or whatever, you find one thing that goes through them, which is they always have this strong code that they live to.
The code, yeah.
Yeah, and it tends to be um, either good. So we've got the justice one there, right below it as well as the security, which is the lawful.
Mhm.
Doing what must be done can't bring the innocent to harm. And that's another thing that
Yep.
you see throughout the assassin sort of codes is that, you know,
That one's very good, yeah.
so we can kind of pick either of those. I think the justice one's probably a good one to go with
I think
rather
so
than
too.
security. So I think we'll pick that.
Yeah.
And then we could do the personality trait. Um, bonds are always quite good. So I'm immediately drawn to number 3, which is I've seen too many in need. I must not fail them as everyone else has, which kind of feeds
Oh
into
yeah,
that
I mean,
dark Robin
definitely.
Hood. Yep.
And the same thing with his party also. Like he's lost enough, doesn't want to lose anything else. So
Yeah. And I think that feeds into that dark Robin Hood quite nicely. So I think that's perfect.
yeah,
And then we've all been taking at least one flaw. So um,
have to take it all. I've got
you
many
have
many
to take a
flaws.
flaw. Gives everybody something to see. And I
Hmm.
think for you, there's two that are going to make sense. The I'm callous about death. It comes to us all eventually, which is probably the most
Truth.
assassin thing you could come up with. And then there's
Hmm.
also the I see mortality entirely in black and white. Sorry, morality entirely in black and white. You're either good or evil.
Really, both. I mean,
Yeah,
but both are very valid.
yeah. I think there's scope here within your character to probably take both. I think we should probably just take both.
I think we should take both, yeah, because my mortality is very black and white. Because at some point after you see enough death, like death is just death.
Yep. And then it kind of feeds into that morality as well, which again feeds into this you know, sort of dark Robin Hood character that I think we're ending up with. Which is really good. Alignment, we're not
It'd be really fun to play
yeah.
with Crimson. He and I have been talking about how we're going to play our characters. Very Legolas and Gimli, like going who can kill the most people.
Yeah,
We will probably keep a tally, by the way.
I can see that. I'll just be standing at the
Hmm.
back with the bard making sure he doesn't die. So
Yeah.
um the next thing we've got is alignment, which we're not touching in this game. I know a lot of
No.
people sort of jump through it. There is the chance that the DMs are going to want us to play evil characters, and so our characters for that session will be evil because it's what the DM
Yep.
wants to do for their one shots. So we're kind of leaving that. Faith we're leaving alone as well. Lifestyle, um, we've all picked
We all live
modest.
by a fire. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's modest. There's no really
Yeah,
need for us to
so that's kind
go
of what we've
anymore.
gone with. Is that most of us are sort of quite happy living out in the woods, but then at the same time, we have that ability to just go and stay um in an inn or a temple. But ordinary people living modest lifestyles, labourer, students, priests, hedge wizards. That's kind of where we're at for this campaign. Physical characteristics, we'll fill those in later once Vix has drawn our characters up, because it's going to be much more fun
Yeah,
that
she
way.
drew mine. It looks great.
It
She did
does look
an
it
amazing job on
does
it.
look fantastic. It's on Instagram. It's on our Discord. If you want to jump in, here's our look at that. What a segue! Consummate professional. So it's on our link
Always,
tree.
always
Just
leading in.
just jump on there, and you can go to all of our socials and see that wonderful artwork that Vix is producing. All of this has been done because we created them already. So we are going to go to the equipment. Again, the idea is to try and be as generic as possible. So we've all been picking equipment. If you're happy with that.
Yeah, very very simple. Just one rapier and one dagger. I mean, and then either probably a I'd say a longbow
Yep. So
or and just very very simple with those.
yeah. So the choices we've got: rapier, which everybody loves. There's something about a rapier that is just awesome.
It's very red mage. Like you're very charismatic with your blade and very good.
Yeah. Short bow, quiver of 20 arrows.
Yeah, short bow's fine.
Yep.
Either
And
way,
then we've
it's a
got
-2 on the dice, but
dungeoneer, or explorer.
uh, I would say burglar probably. That probably make the most sense.
Burglar. Everyone's a rapier. I went daggers. Oh my, yeah. My rogue.
Five daggers.
My rogue. In the Theros campaign I'm running on a Sunday night is just all about the daggers. Uh, daggers everywhere. Daggers, 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 daggers. And some very cool magical daggers, because we're on Theros, so there's some very cool ones to pick up. So what we're thinking, burglar, dungeoneer, explorer,
Yeah, I'm thinking burglar.
burglar.
It just makes the most sense.
Absolutely. I mean, you get the thieves' tools anyway as part of what you get, but it's all the little things that people tend to forget about. The ball bearings, the string, the bell, the candles. It's the ability to just set up traps, be really creative with some of these things. Ball bearings make excellent things to sling at people when you've run out of arrows. They're just
Yeah.
so much fun, and when you creative players really get a kick out of them. So we'll add all of the starting equipment. There it is. And finally, take a look at our character sheet.
It's so nice not having to pick magic. No spells. Oh, it's so great. It makes life so easy.
So the armor class does seem pretty poor, but again, as I said yesterday, D&D Beyond, always make sure, go and put your armor on. Go and put your
Yeah, you have to. You definitely have to equip everything.
yes. Otherwise, it all gets a little bit suspect. But this is really good. Like the +7s to hit are going to be excellent in combat. Your sneak bonuses are going to be off the chart. So 3d6 additional sneak damage because you're a level 5. This is just going to be some serious damage that this guy can output. And at a +7, you are very rarely going to miss. The other thing to remember about
Definitely.
rogues is trying to get advantage on the attack roll. Um, you can do that by attacking from hidden. Rogues get the hidden attack by being able to hide the first round of combat, take a pot shot, take the bonus action, which is the hide, and then the next turn you're getting advantage on your attack, and that's when you can really bring the pain. So it's all about
Yeah,
economy.
it's all about that sneak attack damage.
Yeah. The wisdom was a good shout. We're at initiative +4, so that's where the rogue shines. That ability to get in first, get some damage,
Just huge for the
hide.
assassin too. Yeah,
Yeah,
having the advantage on everybody who has not gone yet. That means right away off the bat with a high initiative score. As long as I'm going first or even second before any of the monsters go,
yeah,
I it's an instant sneak attack.
for sure. And then if I just drop this down a little bit, I apologise for my clunky ability with this, but it's worth pointing out. So, not bad. Not bad for a rogue. Not terrible. We have a cleric who's going to be doing a lot of healing duties anyway. So it's not the end of the
We do.
world.
The only thing I would say that I think we may want to change is I've got the double advantage on perception right now. Um, and it's one of my class features that should be on stealth. There should be two. It's the extra proficiency.
Yeah, but it's kind of, I mean, you're at +8 on perception, and you're at +7 on stealth.
Yeah. Well, the
S-
+8 would actually go down to a +4, and then the stealth would go up, I think, to a 10.
Yeah, yeah, because of the expertise. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that
I
might
mean, it's
need
something
looking at.
we can look at that afterwards. I
Yeah,
just noticed that right as you pulled it up.
yeah, for sure. But I mean, this is quite a rogue.
It's
You're
very, very across the board even build. I think it's going to be easy to play with.
yeah, and again, really good action economy. You've got plenty of actions. You've got your bonus action, which gives you the cunning action. You've got your
Hmm.
uncanny dodge, which is just brilliant as the reaction.
Hmm.
Um,
High initiative, very
and
good stealth. Yeah.
that Mask of the Wild, attempt to hide even when you're in light
Yeah.
obscured, is so good with the sneak attack bonus. Like just
I'll just
gaining
hide behind.
advantage.
I'll hide behind Crimson.
Weighted down, so the rest of the damage comes from bludgeoning. Oh, oh, that is that's quite a nasty dagger. I like that.
Hmm.
That's really good. I like that. That's quite good. Um, so yeah, that's our rogue character. Um,
Yeah.
that's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun
Yeah.
to play with,
That was the easiest way to build it over. Yeah.
and no spending 45 minutes discussing spells and which spells are the
Right.
best and which spells might work properly. All of the
Yep.
additional stuff that goes along with it. So,
The fun stuff, but every now and then it's kind of nice.
yeah. So there was a chance that we could have been able to build our barbarian this evening as well, but he has been absolutely slammed at work, and so wasn't
It's a
able
good problem. Yeah.
to join us. So it's going to be quite a short stream tonight. Um, but what I am going to do is try and remember my proper duties as a person here and try and raid somebody. So
Have to raid.
if anybody knows who we should raid, please let me know. Put it in chat, and
I'm looking at
we'll go and
Suzanne
raid
right now.
somebody just to say hi. Um, so that was our rogue character. Uh, quick reiteration: Fireside Portal. The game is going to be starting hopefully, or the challenge games are going to be starting hopefully at the end of January. We're going to put the DM words going out of my head. I keep thinking requisition papers, but
The
that's not the right
DM
answer.
the application.
Application form, thank you. I was thinking
Yeah.
requisition because
Hmm.
I've spent too long doing other things. The DM applications are going to go up soon. They'll be all over our Discord, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere to try and get as many DMs as possible. If you want to give it a go, please join our Discord, follow us on social media, find out exactly when that's going to be. If you know somebody who you think would be excellent for it, or if you know somebody who's always mouthing off about how good a DM they are and they want to prove it, this is the way to go
I've
ahead
never
and
met
prove it.
anyone who does that. Never
Never
met
met
anyone
anybody.
who complains about how great
You,
of a DM they are.
usually the DM when you ask them who's the DM in your group, they go, "It's me." It's the usual
And they're the
response.
most humble people ever. Also, they're just quiet in the corner.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know who the barbarian is because they'll tell you. You know who the wizard is because they'll have already told you before the barbarian. DM's just slowly in the corner. So, guys, if there's anybody who wants us to raid, please let us know. Got probably a couple more seconds in chat just to let us know. But thank you very much. It's been a great session. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like what you see, and yeah, I don't have anything else. So unless we've got a raid set up, I might quickly jump on Twitch and see if I can see if
The only person I
anybody that
see is
I know is still
Vetchel.
on.
especially fantasy. That's the only person I'm following that's on right now. It's the slow time of the day, I think.
If I just stop that for a second. I don't know how to stop that. There we go. Yes, there is nobody on here that I know. Wow, it is a slow time of day.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, well, it's Thursday. I think everyone's gearing up for
Big
uh
weekends.
yeah, but Thursday night is also Critical Role, isn't it? On
Yeah, it
Thursday.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
So I think most people just try not to compete with Critical Role. But you know, we're special. and
And
can
we
be
are.
absolutely easily compete with Critical Role. Not an issue. Different wavelength.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks very much, guys. It's been a great stream. Thank you to everyone in chat who was contributing. Thank you for seeing our rogue. Follow us on social media, and we will see you next time. Hopefully for the build of the barbarian, and then a one shot featuring all of us with a guest DM just to sort of see how they play. We might need to tweak the characters afterwards, but we should be fine with them, and we should then be able to carry on. Hopefully, get all the stream bugs sorted out, all the goblins and gremlins out of the way,
All
and
the audio.
play. So thanks very much, guys. It's been great talking to you, and we will see you next time here on the Fireside Portal.
Thanks.
See you later.